Hello, I'm Adrian, and welcome to the 5th and final episode of Analytical Story Battle Season 2. In case you're new to the series, what it boils down to is pitting two characters against each other and seeing who would win in a fight. It's an in-depth analytical battle told from a first-person view, so you can feel that you're in the fight right there with them. In terms of the storyline so far, quite a bit has happened. Batman has taken a sample of the heart-shaped herb from Black Panther and used it to revive Superman. Superman then went on a blind rampage and ended up fighting the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime. Meanwhile, after battling Supergirl, Thanos is now collecting the Infinity Stones in this universe. And on the other side of the universe, Venom watched as Blade and Daredevil fought in San Francisco. You can see all the previous episodes of Analytical Story Battle in the playlist below or the card above. The series is heavily based on the fighting styles videos for their respective characters, and if you haven't seen them yet, I highly advise that you do, as they provide an excellent look at the characters on this series. Also, these characters are taken from their respective films and shows, but they receive their own unique interpretation in this series. In other words, they don't happen before or after a particular movie or episode in their respective timelines. Without further ado, it's time for another experimental educational battle, a what-if scenario to determine who would win in a fight, Batman or Thanos.
As I stand in the Batcave, I get a strong sense of deja vu. Last time I put together a team to defeat myself, to put it bluntly, things didn't go too well for them. I have made it a point to not repeat that mistake again. I let Black Panther know that I did not feel comfortable risking his nation's army, so we will be dealing with Thanos ourselves. I turn on the holographic projector in front of me and reveal a crude model representation of the multiverse theory. Black Panther, Optimus Prime, Venom, Spider-Man, Superman, and Supergirl all stand in front of me. This is a multiverse. Thanos has already achieved his plan of killing half the population of Earth on this universe right here. It's where Captain America is from, because of all the shifts in the space-time continuum that have happened since we've begun to fight Arkham Batman. Things are really bent out of shape. Heroes that we thought were among us are no longer here. Heroes that we thought were dead are actually alive. People we thought we knew look nothing like how we remember them.
Yeah, about that. I really want to thank you for rescuing me, but that man over there is not my cousin. He totally dresses like him, but he's not him.
You are correct, Supergirl. She smiles and nods. And incorrect. A puzzled and bewildered look falls across her face. Superman is your cousin. It's why he knew you were in danger, and we immediately set off to rescue you. But because of the space-time continuum shift, you remember him differently and share a completely different background with him on your universe. This affected his ability to speak in our universe as well. So in short, he's your cousin, just from a parallel universe. Spider-Man chimes in.
Don't worry, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not even supposed to be here either. I'm one of those heroes that's no longer here from a speech. Well, at least not me, but someone just like me from another universe, which means that
Spider-Man, our mother said she got it.
I actually did, monster guy.
We are Venom. She puts on a quizzical look as soon as she hears the word we. In response, Eddie Brock reveals his true human head. Supergirl smiles at the man beneath the mask.
Oh, I get it. Well, nice to meet you then, Venom.
Likewise. Eddie once again envelops his head with the symbiote. Now that we all know each other, I'll outline what's at stake here. When Thanos succeeded in his plan, it came with great cost to him as well. He sacrificed his daughter and ended up being mortally wounded. When he found out about the existence of parallel universes, he couldn't wait to try it again on the same planet. This is what led him to our universe. We did luck out, as when he traveled here, because of the space-time shift and Thor's weapon, he ended up losing every stone except the power and space stones. As such, he's been on a quest to achieve control of the remaining stones. The two stones he's currently missing are the Reality Stone and the Time Stone. I retained control of the Time Stone from the last time we fought Arkham Batman. I then asked the Black Canary to get the Reality Stone for me, as I had a feeling something like this would happen. Since I have control of these two Infinity Stones, Thanos will be keying into our signature once I open this suitcase. It's coated in impenetrable magic, courtesy of a friend of mine, so we are safe from him locking into us until I open the suitcase. My plan involves each and every one of you to play an extremely key role. The only way out of this is for us to execute a blitz attack in a matter of seconds, to catch him off guard and have him severely underestimate us. He already succeeded in his plan once, and he has no reason to think he won't succeed again.
Great close, Batman. So what's the plan?
We now stand on a completely deserted island off the coast of Hawaii. Not one person has been here in decades. I know this for a fact because I bought the island. I stand next to my team and see that they are ready. I place a suitcase containing the Infinity Stones in front of me. They immediately start to glow with power once they hit the sunlight, and we all brace ourselves for what's going to happen. A few seconds go by, and suddenly a small portal appears in front of us, about 20 yards ahead. It starts extremely small, and eventually grows to being over 8 feet tall. Out steps Thanos, and he matches the description given to me by Captain America to a T. He isn't wearing any armor besides his gauntlet, and the wound inflicted on him by Thor has mostly healed up. He does seem to have a new one on his boot, however. Did Supergirl do that? He takes a few steps from the portal as it closes.
2 unguarded Infinity Stones in a remote abandoned island seem too good to be true. I don't know most of you.
He looks over to Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Didn't I kill you 2 already?
You have not killed me. It doesn't matter on what universe you're in. You will ultimately fail.
Black Panther replies.
That was really well said. Ditto.
Spider-Man adds.
Do you know how many times I've heard a variation of what you 2 just said? It truly is amazing at how naive all of you can be. A Titan stands before you, someone with ultimate power, who can manipulate space, the mind, and even see into your soul, and you still think you have a real chance. Your comrades in the parallel universe failed to stop me, and so will you.
He takes a look at Supergirl.
Supergirl, you survived. I'm impressed.
Don't patronize me. If you value your life, you will turn around and walk right back into that portal.
Tough words from someone who nearly died fighting me.
I hold Supergirl back by placing a hand on her shoulder and give her a reassuring look. Thanos, you seem like a level-headed man. Why do you continue this insane quest of killing half the population in the universe?
Ah, you must be the leader of this ragtag group of heroes. Your feeble intellect cannot see beyond what is right in front of you. This universe is finite. Your existence is finite. And it is my responsibility to ensure the infinite...
Enough talking, Venom states. Thanos takes one step, and everyone immediately jumps into their role. Let's hope this works. Venom had already snaked tendrils of his symbiote underneath the ground while Thanos was talking, so he immediately latches onto both of his boots. As he does this, Spider-Man shoots 2 webs at his shoulders and yanks on them, bringing him down low enough to receive the full impact of a double flying uppercut from Superman and Supergirl. As he goes reeling upwards, Optimus had already transformed into his truck form and rams into him at full speed. Black Panther leaps from the top of Optimus's truck form just in time to slash him with lightning quick speed, leaving deep gashes on his chest. Now it's finally my turn. As he's coming down from Optimus's impact, I dock 4 batarangs with my hands, 2 on each side, and throw them at his gauntlet. These are no ordinary batarangs either. They are explosive batarangs that have been infused with Cybertronian technology, courtesy of Optimus Prime's knowledge. Each one of them lands on their mark, right on top of the stones. Once they land, they transform into a small sphere that fits perfectly around them. They release their payload. A massive detonation goes off, and a huge dust cloud erupts over Thanos. As the dust clears, I see that the batarangs did not blow up the stones, as expected, but did damage 3 of them. They hopefully won't be as effective now. The Power Stone, unsurprisingly, remains completely intact. By this time, Thanos takes a look at the suitcase and realizes it's no longer there. Superman had already flown and returned from a secret area on the island and placed it in a locker coated with magic as well. Realizing that the stones are gone, Thanos goes into a furious rampage. His gauntlet glows with the stone's power, and you can tell he's not messing around anymore. He immediately front kicks Black Panther, and he goes soaring through the air. As Optimus transforms into his robot mode and comes down on him with a strong punch, Thanos catches it and throws him across the island as well. Superman and Supergirl return with another team punch, but this time Thanos expects it and grabs them both in the air, slamming them on the ground. A group of web lands on his face, and he releases Superman and Supergirl from his grasp and tears it off, just in time to be web pendulum kicked by Spider-Man and punched by Venom. He stumbles backward just a bit, and I throw 2 more batarangs at him. He immediately catches them, and this time when they go off, they explode harmlessly in his fist. The Power Stone no doubt tanking the hit. He turns around and push kicks Spider-Man and elbows Venom as they both go flying across the island as well. Superman and Supergirl return for another round of attacks by latching onto him and firing their heat vision, but he counters them by simply ramming himself into a nearby tree and using the Power Stone, slams the tree on top of them. Everyone except me is currently down for the count. He starts heading towards me, and I fire my grappling hook to the nearest cliff. It luckily lands, and not a moment too soon, as Thanos had already swung a right hook at where I was just a moment ago. He takes 3 steps and suddenly holds me in his giant hand. He lifts me from the cliff and begins to apply pressure. I can see the world going dark. I start to lose sensation in my limbs. All of a sudden his expression changes. He looks towards his chest. Hurts, doesn't it? In a few more seconds, Thanos drops me. I land and roll to absorb some of the damage. The vampire poison is finally having an effect on Thanos. Using the poison that Venom brought, Spider-Man and I isolated its components. We took out the part that made you turn into a vampire and simply boosted the pain effects and greatly reduced the time it would take to affect an individual from a matter of days to a matter of minutes. We then applied that poison to Black Panther's vibranium claws. It's why I had him slash Thanos so early on in the fight, when he still wouldn't know what was happening. Venom slowly comes to his senses and leaps at Thanos. The effects caused by the modified poison had already worn off, but it succeeded in giving enough time for Venom to unleash his full symbiote onto Thanos. This is the riskiest part of the plan. Thanos tries to take it off, but can't. The black, gooey, gelatinous entity envelops him completely. He opens his eyes, and they have turned into giant purple splotches. He turns to us, and his disfigured chin has become even more so, with giant spikes coming out of each indentation. As he smiles and begins to launch tendril attacks, Eddie Brock calls out to the symbiote to return to him. But the symbiote pays him no heed. By this time, our team had recovered, and Thanos attacks and bludgeons every one of them. He's practically unstoppable now. He takes a moment when he has Superman and Supergirl in his grasp. As he starts to squeeze the life out of them, they both yell and fire their heat vision at him in the most intensely concentrated dose as possible. The symbiote starts to heat up tremendously, and I can see it starting to react in pain. After a few more seconds, Thanos feels the pain as well and lets them go. The symbiote finally unlatches itself and quickly slithers over to Eddie Brock once more. Thanos goes for the symbiote, but Superman and Supergirl along with Optimus Prime keep him busy unleashing a cavalcade of attacks. Optimus is holding him off with a series of extremely strong punches as he had just transformed his fists into 2 spike-knuckled boulders. Spider-Man then uses Optimus as an excellent jumping point to land right on Thanos' head, webbing up his eyes and proceeding to strike him in his head as many times as possible. Thanos fights back furiously. He manages to take off Spider-Man's webbing just in time to be greeted by another Superman and Supergirl punch. Black Panther slashes at him as well. Venom starts to react to the transformation. The symbiote is an extremely peculiar alien, and what it does best is enhancing and absorbing its host's skills. The symbiote augments its user's natural abilities at a geometric rate. So when it latched onto Spider-Man, it enhanced the strength, skill, and powers of Spider-Man. When Spider-Man rejected it, and it passed on to Eddie, it passed along all of Spider-Man's enhanced strength, skill, and powers. It furthermore increased Eddie's natural strength as an Olympic-level bodybuilder. Now that the symbiote has returned from being bonded with Thanos, Venom has the strength, skill, and powers of Spider-Man, his own natural bodybuilding strength, as well as Thanos' strength and skills, all at an enhanced geometric rate. It couldn't absorb his Infinity Stone powers, as they are part of the gauntlet, not Thanos himself, but we're still dealing with an incredible boost in strength. Venom immediately grabs Thanos' arm and tears off the gauntlet. Superman and Supergirl catch it in midair, and Superman safely flies it off to the aforementioned secret location. Venom nearly doubles in size, reaching the same height as Thanos, and his already giant muscles become even bigger. He opens his massive jaw and bares his foot-long teeth at Thanos. Our owner tells us that you used the Mind Stone to keep him with you. That wasn't very nice. He immediately launches himself at Thanos and tackles him. Thanos deflects the tackle with a hold, but Venom quickly flips out of it. As Thanos throws the first punch, Venom traps the punch with his left hand and performs a knife hand strike on his neck, followed by a strong hook across his face, and then uses the trapped arm as leverage to slam Thanos into the ground by pushing on his chest and pulling him from his feet. We've also absorbed your skills in martial arts. Very impressive. Thanos yells at Venom, and the two engage in the most sophisticated, intense Wing Chun exchange I've ever seen. The complexity of their techniques performed at this size and level of power is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Truly a sight to behold. Venom elbows Thanos on the head and follows it up with a roundhouse kick to the knee and a spinning side kick. He punches him right across the face, and Thanos isn't looking too good. He picks him up. After keeping him up in the air for a brief couple seconds, he slams him back down on the ground again. With all his strength, he kicks him off the ground. Thanos goes flying through the meadow and is caught in midair by both Superman and Supergirl, and then rammed into by Optimus Prime. In midair, he transforms one of his hands into a deadly blade.
This is for what you did to Cybertron.
He's been there too. I had no idea. In a flash, Optimus brings his blade crashing down on Thanos' chest. It cuts extremely deep.
We wonder what his brain tastes like.
Venom says from afar and unhinges his jaw as he leaps towards Thanos. I use my grappling hook and tether myself to his boot, and in a few seconds, I'm right beside him. I stand next to Venom and the other members of the team. You have been defeated, I tell him.
How is this possible?
Thanos says. Venom and Supergirl punch him right in the face.
We went for the head.
Venom states, excellent work, team. He's completely knocked out and has no Infinity Gauntlet. He will now be imprisoned in the Phantom Zone.
We won!
Supergirl exclaims. Superman smiles. Spider-Man lets out a huge sigh, and Venom slowly starts reverting back to his original form. When he does, Supergirl gives him a hug. Black Panther adds,
He failed, just like I said he would.
Optimus Prime disengages his mouth shield.
Team, let's roll out.
I find myself overlooking the view of Gotham City beside Venom and Spider-Man from the balcony on my mansion.
So, how many ribs did you guys crack in that battle?
Spider-Man says. Venom lets out a small chuckle.
You fought well, Parker.
You too, Brock. And I heard you got a date with Supergirl?
Venom says nothing, but does smile. Thanks for your help again. I'm glad that Thanos came from a universe where the symbiote and vampires don't exist. I doubt we could have outsmarted him in the way that we did. I couldn't have done any of this without you two.
You can always count on us, Batman.
Spider-Man states.
We are dedicated to protecting innocence, and if we have to alter the space-time whatever to do so, then so be it.
That's my worry. We continue trying to save lives, but in order to do so, we keep having to alter the space-time continuum. What will the consequences of that be?
Whatever they may be, we will be ready to face them.
I'm sure the symbiote got that phrase from me.
You wish, Webhead.
We have finally achieved peace. I hope it lasts.
And the second season of Analytical Story Battle has ended. The team used their combined strengths and abilities and successfully defeated Thanos. The structure of Thanos' behavior in the fight was modeled after Avengers Infinity War. Thanos is extremely susceptible to blitz attacks, and despite having the gauntlet, can get overwhelmed by his attackers. As a matter of fact, if Star-Lord had not lost it with Thanos, the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy would have successfully pulled off Thanos' gauntlet and evened the odds considerably. In terms of Batman, I modeled his behavior in the fight after Batman vs Superman. When they were fighting Doomsday, he mostly kept himself out of harm's way, diving behind cover, avoiding Doomsday's attacks by using his grappling hook, and basically observing the fight more than anything. Batman fought through his weapons. Because of the kryptonite spear he built to kill Superman, they were able to kill Doomsday. Furthermore, that one shot from the kryptonite gas grenade temporarily weakened Doomsday, so Superman could go in for the kill. In the same way, Batman used his Cybertronian batarangs to damage the Infinity Gauntlet, and weaponized the vampire poison as well. He furthermore avoided fighting Thanos, just like Doomsday, and instead used his grappling hook to gain distance quickly. So in short, if Batman had to go up against Thanos with no equipment one-on-one, he would have lost in a second, as shown in this fight. However, due to his keen mind, excellent teammates, and inventive weapons, he was able to stay alive and defeat Thanos. What did you think of the final fight? Would you like a season 3? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe for more awesome content. Merry Christmas, and see you guys next time.